Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be going over the new best team for guild supremacy, which again, it doesn't really matter how good of a team you're running here, but it is using Sonja. So I want to show it to you, and I'm going to show you the previous best team and then we'll compare it with the new one. This was the previous best team and it's still a great option if, for example, you haven't recruited for Sonja. Basically, it's just about ramping up the OD's damage as much as possible, but Lily May also contributes a good amount as well. But when we take a look at the Sonja team, it is also using the Wilder buff tiles, also using OD and Lily May as your two key damage dealers, but Sonja is going to buff up the OD even further, and Prissa is going to buff up OD with her her buffs that she was providing in the previous formation as well. Eironn is just kind of here as a tank, also because when you're on the Wilder buff tiles, basically the boss is not able to control you. That is why it is so strong for this boss, and so OD and Lily May are going to be free to get off their damage for the whole fight. Arcane Spell increases your damage the most because it gives you penetration to increase your damage output. Okay, so for this team, again, it would be good if you could get the skill power charms onto Sonja, but I don't have a full set equipped. Arcane charms are the best, and then insight charms are the second best, but both of them give the 5 skill power, so either one is a good option. For the other heroes, OD Gale Charm is going to be the best, and Lily May, I'm running Sorcery Charm. Maybe there is a better option, but I think this should be fine, because that is the best for Dream Realm. Okay, let's go for it and see the team in action. Okay. So Eironn, I don't fully honestly understand the reasoning for Eironn in the team. Like I would think, well, but the thing is, okay, the other thing about Sonja's charms are that she will provide the debuff that Bryon provides, causing the boss to take increased damage from your team. That also ramps up your damage by a lot. So basically, she's kind of like replacing the Bryon role, and she's even better than Bryon because she will buff up your OD and Lily May, because Bryon didn't provide any buffs and his damage was pretty low. It was basically you were using him to complete the Wilder factions for the buff tiles, and you were using him for his magic charm effect, but you cannot stack that effect, so Sonja and Bryon together, for example, would not improve it. Also, Sonja is getting off damage in the back, which is pretty good. Yeah, Eironn, I guess he's just a tank for your team, and so he's the best option. His damage output is kind of okay, but it's not too great. Oh, he also has the magical defense shred. That is the thing. That is going to increase your OD's damage further. That makes sense. Okay, so that is why Eironn is using this team. If you have him, I think as Supreme Plus, he has magical defense reduction from when he casts his ultimate, and that is going to power up OD and Lily May's damage both. So really the only other question here is maybe there are better charms for Lily May for this boss specifically. But I would suspect that still the sorcery charms would be a really good option. So this team will need Sonja. You can use Sonja in this team even if you don't have her upgraded. You could try it out and see if it does better for you compared to the Bryon team. Like you can compare it to the scores of others. I'm pretty sure because she would still provide the stat buffs to your allies. So yeah. Okay, 20 seconds left. Over 1 trillion damage right now, which is a lot. I want to see our ranking because I think my guildmate Splash is also running this new optimal team. So I want to compare my damage to his. It would be cool if you could actually compare, like do 2 runs of it to see the Bryon team damage as well, but we're unable to do that. Okay, so 5 seconds left. OD's damage is really high, especially because it ticks every second as well, the poison. So 1.4 trillion damage. Taking a look at the damage chart, yeah, he did 733 billion damage. Sonja hardly contributed anything. So I really think you could run Sonja because her Mythic Plus ability will basically allow her to also gain the value of this accumulated stat buffs, but that's only going to improve her own damage output. So it is not really too important to have her upgraded. You can run her even at 1 copy for this team. You don't need to have her, for example, up to Mythic Plus or Supreme Plus, because she's still going to provide the buffs to your Lily May and Odie, which is the key thing in this team. Okay, and you'll want to have the Wilder faction talents upgraded if possible for this team. We ended up dealing the most damage, even more than Splash, so I think he was running this team because he told me about it, or maybe he just ran it with the old team, the Bryon team. I'm pretty sure Wooster is running the old team. Yeah. Okay, so it's a bit of a damage boost, but maybe not a huge amount, but I just wanted to share it because it is a cool new team. Now, as for Sonja, so far Sonja, she has been the meta hero in the Necrodraken boss, along with Harak. But if you don't have Harak, then unfortunately she is not going to be a good hero to run in your team. So, and most likely, as we continue to go through all of the different Dreamon bosses, I do believe Sonja is going to have a place in the Harak teams, but maybe outside of that, she might not be used. Because she is great for her buffs, but mainly she is really good when you end up having that hyper carry dealing all of your damage at the end. Because she can only buff up 2 allies apart from herself. And her own damage output is pretty low for endless bosses, because even though she has like really good multiplier from Tempest Thrust, because it deals a bonus damage up to 160% of her own attack for each of the 8 strikes, along with whatever the attack multiplier of the skill is, that is pretty big. Even for endless bosses, like when you have debuffs, like the Kruger debuff increasing physical damage, she hit pretty hard, like up to 13 billion damage, but it's no comparison compared to like Lily May hitting over 30 billion, and Harak in that team did over 50 billion. So yeah, her damage output is just kind of low, and that is the thing. Yeah, so she's only buffing up basically 2 of your allies, which when you compare it to other heroes like Smokey, Mikola, they're buffing up your entire team by up to 25% attack buff with the skill power from Charms, whereas with Crimson Covenant, she can buff up your team up to 21% with the skill power as a base, and then on top of that, every 6 seconds, 4 plus 1.5%, so that's 5.5% attack, and it can stack 6 times, so that is up to 33%, 33 plus 21 is 54%. So in total, 36 seconds into the match, she can have buffed up 2 of your allies by 54% attack, which is big. But again, it's only really big when you have like the hard hitting, a couple of heroes which need it. But when, for example, you're looking at Dreamon, you have your Fresto Illusion, Smokey, and then Lily May, different damage dealer heroes, and all of them want to have an attack buff to increase their damage, and that's why Smokey is good, Mikola is good, they provide the whole team the attack. But Sonja is only going to be able to provide 2 out of all of those the attack, and that is the thing. So it's like working better in the hyper carry comp where you end up with less damage contributors and just ramping up their damage. So Harak teams are really good for her. So anyway guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and good luck getting a good score in Guild Supremacy with this team. You can try it even with 1 copy of Sonja. It should be an upgrade for you. And yeah, or you can use the old team as well that we had fielded at the beginning of when we began our attempt. That is also a really good team to run. And like I mentioned again, it doesn't really matter in the end your score. As long as you're attacking daily and using one of these teams, you should have no problem clearing the Guild Supremacy boss. But this is just like a bit of a more optimized team to get a bit higher damage. So anyway guys, thank you for watching. That's gonna be it for this one. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video, and until then everyone, peace out for now.